Let's jump right into this explainer. Think about your morning today. Your smart alarm wakes you up, your coffee is already brewing, and your groceries? Well, they arrive with just one tap. Honestly, you are living as the most protected from inconvenience human in history. No hunting, no waiting. But here's the catch. Anxiety, loneliness, and burnout, they are skyrocketing. It's a massive dilemma. We're in the most convenient era ever, but we are absolutely not thriving because of it.
So why doesn't making everything easier make us happier? This is literally the ultimate modern paradox. We've spent decades engineering this perfect, frictionless world. But as we successfully cut that friction out of our lives, piece by piece, our sense of fulfillment seems to just flatline or even plummet. What if comfort isn't the reward we thought it was? What if it's actually a hidden cost?
Part 1. The Paradox of Modern Comfort.
To really get this paradox, we have to look at the massive gap between exponential tech growth and the biological reality of human satisfaction. We're essentially mismatched with our own tools. Think about it. We're building AI systems that scale exponentially. But thanks to something called the Weber-Fechner law, our perception of these gains only grows logarithmically. Basically, as things get vastly better and faster, we need bigger and bigger leaps in tech just to feel a tiny bit of joy. Our brains just don't scale the way our microchips do.
Part 2. The new hedonic treadmill.
The psychological mechanism driving this whole mismatch is the hedonic treadmill. It's the process where we rapidly adapt to major events and return to a baseline state of happiness. It forces us to constantly chase the next thrill. That's why last year's mind-blowing tech is today's annoying baseline. You see, dopamine isn't really the happiness molecule. It's all about anticipation. Under constant, easy stimuli, our receptors just lose sensitivity. We adapt. We turn today's absolute magic into tomorrow's boring baseline, and we just keep demanding more.
Take a look at the glaring satisfaction gap right here. See how the blue line of AI capability shoots up exponentially? But look at the red line of user satisfaction. It hits a hard plateau. We adjust our expectations so fast. Sure, we get a quick spike of excitement when a new capability drops, but we normalize it almost instantly. The objective accomplishment of the tech completely outstrips our subjective appreciation of it.
And the real-world stakes here are incredibly high. While we adapt to tech conveniences in the blink of an eye, our baseline happiness actually struggles to bounce back from major negative human events. Things like unemployment or losing a loved one take years to recover from. This proves that our resilience, it's not an automatic guarantee. Coping with difficulty is a skill, and if our hyper-convenient environment removes all our practice, that skill just disappears.
Part 3. The danger of cognitive atrophy.
When we outsource all of our effort to machines, we aren't just losing out on a fleeting sense of happiness. We're actually losing our cognitive edge. It's a literal atrophy of the mind. Notice the crucial difference here between being a human in the loop versus a human on the loop. Being in the loop means you're actively executing tasks and building human judgment. But supervising on the loop, that makes you a passive monitor. You stop deciding, you just watch. And when you stop doing the work, the context fades away and the knowledge simply disappears.
Because we are biologically wired to conserve energy, we easily fall victim to automation bias. That's the tendency to defer to a machine's output rather than evaluating it ourselves. I mean, it's so much easier to just let the system decide, right? We often accept a machine's confident but totally incorrect recommendation over our own sound judgment. We just click approve because the computer says it's fine, effectively neutralizing the human oversight we supposedly rely on.
This 2025 study from Microsoft and Carnegie Mellon is a massive wake-up call. It states higher confidence in generative AI is associated with less critical thinking. Researchers found that the apparent authority of AI outputs actually dulls the exact skepticism that makes human oversight meaningful in the first place. When the machine sounds confident, our critical thinking drops. We end up trading analytical rigor for pure convenience.
We really need to pause right here and ask ourselves, are we building systems that develop human expertise over time or erode it? If our pursuit of total automation is turning us into mere validators of work we no longer even understand, then we're building a workforce and really a whole society that is bleeding its institutional knowledge.
Part 4. Wired for survival and stress.
To see why this passivity is so damaging, we have to look at how our brains are fundamentally wired. Removing effort doesn't lead to perfect peace. Why? Because of our evolutionary negativity bias. As the saying goes, our brains are wired like Velcro for suffering, but like Teflon for happiness. A life totally devoid of active, meaningful challenges doesn't make us perfectly zen. Instead, it leaves our hypervigilant brains scanning for threats where there aren't any, which triggers chronic stress over completely minor things like delayed emails or slow Wi-Fi.
The psychobiology of stress and primal imprinting shows us that without healthy friction, we get locked into archaic survival modes, fight, flight, or freeze. This exposes us to so much unnecessary wear and tear. We end up reacting to an everyday modern inconvenience with the exact same biological stress response as an animal facing a predator. We are literally robbed of our higher intellectual skills when we lose our tolerance for friction.
Part 5. The power of flow.
Fortunately, positive psychology offers a seriously potent antidote to this cognitive atrophy and chronic stress, and it's called flow. Look at these characteristics: completely involved, a sense of ecstasy, inner clarity. We feel most alive not when we're passively resting on the couch, but when we are deeply, actively engaged in a challenging task that perfectly matches our skills. Flow requires effort, it requires focus and intrinsic motivation. It is the absolute opposite of passive consumption. And this builds even further when we look at social flow. When we apply empathy, compassion, and proactive agency to our relationships, it fuels our brains with dopamine and oxytocin. This acts like Miracle-Gro for our resilience. By remaining proactive in our social lives, rather than just retreating into digital isolation, we actually build out our biological capacity to handle stress.
Part 6. Reclaiming the human loop.
So how do we fix this paradox? How do we actually reclaim our agency in a world that's getting more automated by the second? As this quote highlights, the goal of Human in the Loop should not simply be to keep humans nominally present. It should be to keep them engaged in thinking, exploration, and the development of judgment itself. We have to intentionally design our tool around this principle. We should use AI to expand our range and accelerate our thinking, not replace it entirely. We have to stay in the loop to keep our minds sharp. Here is the massive mindset shift we need. Comfort is a resource to be earned, not a default state to be consumed. We have to deliberately bring back small doses of friction, walk instead of driving, read the long article, cook a meal by hand, write that email yourself. Resilience is a muscle. Rest only truly tastes sweet when effort comes first.
So what friction will you intentionally invite back into your life today? I want to leave you with that thought to consider before you completely automate your next task. Please don't let your resilience and judgment atrophy in the name of convenience. Choose the harder path now, and then you might just feel a little more alive. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.